You know, when you think of Sridhar Vembu, you probably think of Zoho, one of India's biggest tech success stories. But his vision, it goes way beyond just software. We're going to dive into his blueprint for India's future. And honestly, it all starts with a question that I'm sure is on a lot of your minds.
For like decades, right? The dream was simple. Get a great job in the US or Europe. That was the ultimate goal. But now, with all the mass layoffs, the visa rules getting tighter and tighter, that whole path just feels so uncertain. So is that dream, that path so many have walked before, really just over?
Well, this is where Sridhar Vembu comes in and says, hold on a second. He thinks we're actually asking the completely wrong question. He argues that instead of constantly looking outward for opportunities, we need to start looking inward at the massive potential we've got right here at home, in India.
All right, so let's get real for a minute and just break down what's actually happening on the ground. That so-called American dream, especially for folks in tech, yeah, it's hitting some pretty serious roadblocks these days.
Get this, 88 lakh rupees. That's the estimated cost to get an H-1B visa today. I mean, that's just a staggering number. It takes what was a career dream for so many people and turns it into this almost impossible financial mountain to climb.
And you can really see the difference when you compare then versus now. The old path was pretty clear, wasn't it? Land an IT job, get your H-1B visa, settle down in the US, build a life. But the new reality? It's a mess. We're talking mass layoffs, insane visa hurdles, and just this cloud of uncertainty hanging over so many talented professionals. And this is where Vembu really cuts through the noise. He makes a super critical point. Complaining about another country's visa policies? It's pointless. I mean, it's their country, they make the rules. He says the real question, the one we should all be asking, is how are we running our own country? And just asking that one question, it forces a huge shift in how you look at everything. It's all about fundamentally changing our perspective, how we see our place in the world.
This really gets to the core of his whole argument. He asks, why should we be guests in a house that doesn't invite us? Wow, I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's his powerful call to action, right? Stop waiting for someone else to invite you to the party and start building your own damn house.
Okay, so if the opportunity is really here, right here in India, then what's holding us back? What's stopping us from grabbing it? Well, according to Vembu, the biggest roadblock isn't about money or politics. Nope, it's all in our heads. It's a mindset barrier.
Let's look at a classic example, one you hear all the time. India just can't compete with China in manufacturing, right? We all just kind of assume their costs are rock bottom and we can't touch them. But is that actually true?
Okay, because this is where the whole story gets flipped completely on its head. Vembu points out that if you just look at the numbers, on paper, India actually has some major advantages. Our labor costs, they're 4 to 5 times lower than in China. Land is cheaper. Electricity costs are about the same, maybe even lower. The raw data, it's all pointing in our favor.
So, if it's not the cost, then what the heck is it? Vembu's answer is simple and direct. The real barrier is our mindset. It's this collective, lack of belief in what we can do. It's a failure to really master that deep technical know-how, the nitty-gritty of actually building things from the ground up ourselves.
But see, he doesn't just diagnose the problem and leave it at that. Vembu actually lays out a clear, practical blueprint for how to fix it. He calls it climbing the manufacturing ladder.
And it's this really logical step-by-step process. You don't have to try and invent everything all at once. Step 1, start by importing the machinery you need to build something. Step 2, get really good at using that machinery to make a world-class product. Master the process. Then Step 3, learn how to build the machinery itself. And that final step, that's when you achieve true self-reliance. That's Atmanerv.
And we're not just talking about making Bluetooth speakers here. Vembu is very clear that India can't just be the world's software back office anymore. The real golden opportunity is in these super-critical high-tech fields. Just think about this for a second. 90% of our hospital equipment is imported. 90%! The opportunity is staring us right in the face, in medical devices, in drones, in jet engines, in advanced metallurgy.
So let's kind of pull all these threads together. This moment we're in, with all this global uncertainty, it might feel like a crisis, but according to Vembu, it's not. It's actually a historic opportunity. It's a chance to turn what looks like a major challenge into a huge national advantage.
For years, all we've heard about is India's brain drain, all our best talent leaving.
But what if these new roadblocks abroad could actually trigger the opposite? What if it leads to a brain gain? By keeping our best and brightest minds right here at home, we could create this incredible engine for our own innovation, our own growth, something that could power the nation for generations.
And he has a pretty practical idea for the government, too. He points out that a lot of the skilled people coming back home are saddled with huge education loans. So he proposes giving them a 3 to 5 year holiday on their loan payments. Just give them some breathing room so they can get on their feet and start contributing to India's economy right away.
And that really just leaves us with one final big question to think about. What if this thing that feels like a massive roadblock for so many young Indians right now, the difficulty of going abroad, what if that's actually the key, the very catalyst that finally unlocks our nation's true potential? What if building our own house turns out to be the greatest, most important project we could ever take on?